Y'all, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. I'll be breaking down Edson Jr. Barboza versus Giga the Ninja or Ninja Chikadze. Really good fight. This is damn near gonna be a kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever you want to call it, but it's an MMA fight. But this is gonna be a lot of striking. This is gonna be a dope fight. I cannot wait. It's gonna be fireworks. Potentially fight of the year. I think this is gonna be a really good fight, or maybe KO of the year. You never know. But yeah. Really dope fight. I love this fight, and I cannot wait for it. But yeah, let's get to it in terms of the rankings, where these guys are ranked. Edson Barboza in the featherweight rankings is number 9, and Giga is number 10. So 10 versus 9. So Giga is going to get a bit of a jump up if he does beat Edson. So that's a good thing for Giga. Edson, obviously, they're not doing him many favors in terms of giving him really high-ranked opponents, but he's getting a Fight Night main event, and he's climbing his way up in the rankings. I think if he could, I don't know, man, it's going to be interesting. If he could beat Giga, I think he would want to fight either Josh Emmett, Arnold Allen, or Calvin Kattar. None of those 3 guys are booked, or even Korean Zombie. Obviously, I think Yair is going to fight Max, and Ortega's fighting the champ. So I think those are the matchups he should be looking at, in my opinion. But yeah. But back to the stats. And Giga, if Giga is able to win this, let me go. Maybe Kattar. Him versus Kattar would be dope. Him versus Zombie. I'd love to see that. I think Zombie could really... He could expose Giga in a lot of ways. But back to the fight. I mean, Edson, 22-9, is fighting out of Florida, age 35, height of 5'11", and reaches 75. Giga, 13-2, is fighting out of Huntington Beach, California, age 33, height of 6 foot, and reaches 74. So in terms of when I look at this fight, Edson does have the MMA experience, but Giga is probably the more experienced kickboxer. But Edson has a legit background in Muay Thai, so it's going to be a really good matchup. Edson's the longer guy, but Edson doesn't do good on his back foot. I feel like Edson's a lot better when he's going forward. Giga's going to go forward. So if Edson is kind of backing up, then I think that goes into Giga's game in terms of the reach and the height. But Giga's the taller guy with the shorter arms, so it's going to be interesting. It's an interesting dynamic, and we're going to see how their bodies match up almost when they fight each other in terms of the length and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting in that aspect. But in terms of the story, there's no real story going into this fight. 2 legit strikers, 2 legit top-ranked featherweights going at it, and it's going to be a spectacle. So, and those are the fights I kind of love, just fights that are just there to be fights. There's nothing else to it. It's just these guys are going to fight. Now, obviously, actually, there is a little bit of story, actually. I almost forgot about it. Giga has made it his mission to get this win back for his boy Beneil Dariush. Beneil did fight Edson a while back, got knocked out, and apparently Giga wants to get that one back. I forgot. I was gonna add that in. I told myself, hey, don't forget about that. but yeah, I just remembered it. So that's interesting. Obviously, doesn't mean anything. It's not like Beneil's soul is gonna help Giga. It's Giga versus Edson, so it is what it is. But if we look at what Giga's accomplished, I mean, Giga, say what you say, he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong in his last fight. I thought Swanson was gonna have his way with him, but I mean, in his last 5, I mean, some of them aren't the best fighters in the world. I don't know why it's taking forever. Okay, thank God. Now it's hurrying up. But he's not that bad. I got to give him his credit there. He's not that bad. If we go look at the guys he beat, and this first time I ever saw him fight was against Austin Springer. So that's the first can they gave him. He kind of choked it. Austin did really good in that fight. Austin just stayed tough, and he got the takedown, and he choked him out. It was crazy. It's a big upset, too. So that was really interesting. Then he fights Brandon Davis. He won a split decision. Now, Brandon Davis is It's not the best featherweight. He was a better, I guess, a decent bantamweight, but he wasn't the best featherweight. He kind of got tooled by Kyle Bochniak and then beat by Zabit. So no shame in those two, but you don't want to go to split decision with him. He was supposed to fight Mike Davis, which would have been great. That would have been dope. Fights Jamal Emmers, again, split decision, like nothing really cool. Jamal, whatever you want to say about Jamal, Jamal's a good fighter. He beat Corey Sandhagen, so he has that on his resume. So that's a good win. Then he had a win over Irwin Rivera, which was a crazy, crazy fight. That's when I gained a lot of respect for Irwin before he started stabbing the sisters. But, I was sorry. I should have joked around about that. So, I was kind of done with Giga. I felt like Giga was a little bit of hype, and I thought he was done. So they matched him up with Omar Morales, and I picked Omar Morales. I was so confident that Omar was going to beat him. Omar was another guy with legit, kickboxing background, really good striking. I like the way he fights. I saw this fight, and he dropped him in the third. And when I watched it, I was like, wow. Okay, maybe Giga is not that bad. And he did his thing. I give him his credit. He won that fight. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of his fans. Obviously, they pissed me off. But I will say one thing. I did get a response from Giga Chikadze on my Instagram, which is interesting. But hey, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I said what I said, and I stand behind it. But me and Giga, we actually kind of, we went back and forth actually on there. I don't know if he's seen my response, but I did say some things, so I did respond to it. But it is what it is. Or in the DMs, I responded in the DMs. I know I didn't respond on because he replied to one of my IG posts. That's public, but so yeah, I did respond to him. And then he fights Jamie Simmons. I mean, phenomenal performance against Jamie. Obviously, Jamie's not that good, but he knocked him out. That was a really, really big one for him. It was his first finish, and then he capped it off with a finish over Cub Swanson, which was crazy, body kick. So really, really interesting there. So yeah, Giga, he's a good kickboxer. I'll give him that. I don't know if he's a good MMA fighter. That's where it comes down to. Even in kickboxing, he's been stopped before. He has been I don't think he's ever been knocked out in MMA. I don't think in MMA he's ever been knocked out. Right? Yeah, he's only... Right? Yeah, so Matt and Bree, that was the fight I saw. He got knocked out in the set. He was winning that fight, and then he got clipped bad. So, and it was very... oh my god, I can't even talk, man. It reminded me of the Shane Burgos victory, or the Edson Barboza victory over Shane Burgos, the way he knocked him out. Well, at least more of the punch, not the finish. But if we talk about Edson, man, Edson has accomplished so much in lightweight, and now is accomplishing so much in the featherweight division, man. I mean, Edson's legit. I mean, if I talk about the guys he's fought, damn near, but fuck around just talking about the guys he beat. He beat Ross Pearson. Let's start off with that. Danny Castillo. He lost to Donald Cerrone, but has a win over Evan Dunham. Beat Bobby Green. Lost to Michael Johnson. My bad. Beat Paul Felder the first fight. Lost to Tony Ferguson. Beat Pettis. Beat Gilbert Melendez. Beat Dariush. Lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Lost to Kevin Lee. Beat my boy Dan Hooker. Lost to Justin Gaethje. Lost to Paul Felder in a controversial rematch. Lost to Dan Ige in another controversial fight. He beat Makwana Americani, and he beat my boy Shane Burgos. I mean, spectacular, right? I mean, legit fought a who's of everybody, and he's a great fighter. He's a great kickboxer. Muay Thai, one of the better kickers in the UFC. And it's gonna be, and his boxing has gotten so much better, especially if you go look at the Burgos fight. So he got a lot better. And can Edson replicate what he did or what Matt and Bree did in the kickboxing bout with Giga? I think so. I really do. He has the power in his hands. He has the power everywhere. But, and this is where I'm probably going to shock everybody, and I've said how I felt about Giga Chikadze. I rewatched some fights, and I got reminded of some pain. And I don't know what's wrong with Edson Barboza, but you keep whooping on my boys, all right? Like, you keep whooping on my boys. What he did to Dan Hooker broke my heart. And what he did to Shane Burgos, that was on the live stream, broke my heart. I don't know. I can't fuck with Ed. Like, I don't like him, bro. Like, because of that. Like, I feel some type of way about him. Because it's like you gotta look at the dilemma I'm in, y'all. Imagine somebody shoot your boy in your face, but then they finna fight, right? Somebody that you don't like. Who am I supposed to pick? Now, obviously, in terms of, like, we're talking about, you know, betting and pick who you think is gonna win, right? But in terms of emotionally, how I'm not fucking with. I low key dislike Edson damn near right now because he keeps murking my boys like they're goddamn. He keeps smoking my homies like they're fucking blunts. All right, like, it's starting to piss me off. Okay, I let the Dan Hooker one slide, but the Shane Burgos one was evil. All right, y'all. He had my boy delayed, computer reaction delayed, goddamn shutting down relayed, Windows shut down relayed. He had my boy done dirty. That's all I gotta say. So, through a lot of counseling and a lot of decision making, and I actually did you know, see what Giga said to me in the IG post. I thought about it. I need a hitman, you know, and I think Giga Chikadze can play that role. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Charles Oliveira, but I stood my foot down. I was gonna pick Chandler to beat Oliveira, but I stood my foot down. All right, I was like, fuck this coon. You're not just gonna knock out my boy Dan Hooker and think you're gonna get away with it. All right, fuck Edson Jr. Barboza, and that's on God. I don't like Giga Chikadze, but you got to go, okay? The Shane Burgos fight, the Dan Hooker fight, I took that one personal, okay? And another thing that makes me feel like Giga is going to win this fight, it's because it's 5 rounds. I mean, and that's where I come down to. Obviously, Edson can win this fight. You know, I think Edson has advantages everywhere with the fight. It's just the gas tank. I've seen Giga go at least, you know, longer durations of time and not get tired. Edson gets tired, you know. I'm picking Giga Chikadze by 4th round TK. I know I'm shocking everybody right now. I know I talked a lot of shit about Giga, but I don't know, man. I can't hang on. I'm not a snake, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not a snake. I don't like Giga, but I ain't gonna fool around with homies that's out here shooting bullets in my homie's head. You know, like, I can't hang out with dudes like that. So I gotta roll with Giga Chikadze by 4th round TK. I think he just gets him tired, honestly. Besides all the jokes and all that stuff, oh man, people going, oh, I know everyone go, they ain't gonna kill me. Y'all gonna kill me for picking Giga, but I feel some type of way. I'm sorry, y'all. I rewatched the Burgos fight and I feel some type of way about what he did to my boy Burgos. I really do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Giga by 4th round TKO. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Go follow me on my Instagram. Go follow me on my Twitter. And yeah, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions. Out of here. And yep. The souls of Dan Hooker and Shane Burgos will be avenged. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.